It's kind of hard to read again. But that's Robert's Carburetor Repair in Iowa. Yeah, Spencer, Iowa. And they actually have a very nice breakdown on their website. You can get 95% of the parts for this XH, or Wico X. And they have another page for C. So the two most common ones for the John Deere 2-cylinders. And the prices are pretty reasonable, and that's where I got that and the other box here and various other things. Those gaskets, I chose not to buy the bearing from them because CarQuest has it cheaper, and you know, I got a condenser cheaper. So you can shop around or do whatever you want. Alright, I'm back again. Robert's Carburetor in Spencer, Iowa. They have nice breakdowns. Sorry. They have nice breakdowns of the Wico X and the Wico C on their website. Lots of good parts, and I think they cover about 95% of all the parts in the magneto. So that's very handy because that stuff is very scarce, and I can't find it in CarQuest, so I've tried and I'm not getting anywhere. Deere numbers don't cross, and I can't find anything through Standard Ignition or Wells. I don't know who they were getting it from, but it's proving to be difficult. And just looking at this, I see a General Electric logo on the bottom side there, so I don't know if the General Electric sells it or not, but whatever. Anyways, here's the condenser number through CarQuest. Sorry, it's 50-1537. I believe that was like $14, and that bearing was $9, $10, somewhere in there. Those gaskets I got from Roberts, I think they were under $1 a piece, so that's nice. This one is your flange gasket, and this is your cap gasket. Sorry, I don't have a cap with me. I'm going to need to purchase one. The corrosion of the two lugs that feed the spark plug wires are terrible. Mine are worn, and when I had the other one running on the tractor, I switched caps, and I didn't get much of a change because both caps are about the same in corrosion. And anyways, the spark was random, but I was getting fair, but it was random. So the rebuild DVD says that any good magneto should throw at least a 1/4 inch spark. You know, if you take a spark plug wire running off of the side here through your cap, and just has a bare end to it, you can put that to chassis or ground or whatever. You might even do it right on the case. It should pull, or it should throw off a 1/4 inch. So, and it should be steady, not random, in which I have. Mine was shooting randomly, so I'm gonna need a new cap, and we'll go from there. Wires are new, so, and spark plugs were new a month ago. What else do I need to cover here? Oh, this tool here that I have sitting here, it's a feeler gauge, and this is 15 thousandths, and that's what they recommend to use for spark gap on your points. When you have your two set in there, you know, it's separated. When the points are open, you should have 15 thousandths of a gap. So, and then when they're closed, they should be closed. And if they're not closing, then, well, you need to set it to 15 thousandths. So, and the way to do that, set to 15 thousandths, you have your, I don't have them in here, but if you had your points in here, your edge, your plastic edge here, yeah, that's plastic. Rides on these, there's two, it's actually oval at this point, but at the outermost edge of that oval, on both sides, is where your points are going to be open the furthest. And at the furthest, it's supposed to be 15 thousandths. So, and then when this rotates, it's supposed to close. So if you figure that, if that edge is coming up on a raised lobe, then I think they call those lobes, but as it starts to run over that lobe, it's going to open that points up, and there's your gap, it's supposed to be 15 thousandths, and then as it's making a revolution, it's going to close, and that's probably where you make your spark. Send it on down the line and to your spark plugs, and hopefully you got a good fuel mixture and you get a pop. And so as that's making a revolution and coming up on another lobe there, it's going to open and then it's going to close. And at that point, the impulsor is supposed to ratchet quickly, which gives it a very quick motion, and it sends your spark out so hot that it's gonna make your spark plug go, and your tractor gonna pop, and hopefully it runs good. Another thing is, I think you're supposed to set your spark plug to 35 thousandths, which is bigger than that. I don't have that in here. I just get one of those spark plug gapping tools. You can get them anywhere, and set them to 35 thousandths. If you do set it more than that, I think you're putting extra strain on your coil here. A little bit extra strain. You know, when there's more strain on things, then things get hot and things start to malfunction. And so just stick it to 35 thousandths, 30 thousandths, something like that. You can even go less if you want to. I used solid core wire. I got a pretty good deal on it at CarQuest. You can make a wire set for this tractor for $4. I made a set, and I got all the premium products, so it's far cheaper than buying a kit, because I think any of them stores sell those universal spark plug kits, or spark plug wire kits, and for $14 or whatever. But if you only need 2 wires for this thing, then make it yourself. It's a learning experience, and you save a little money doing it, because it's $4 or $5 or something like that. It's very cheap, and just a little bit of your time. What else here? This little piece here is your condenser holder. Your condenser sits right here somewhere. Yeah, sits right here, and your wire comes around this side. And these 2 wires will come around this side, and your your point, this side of your point will it comes over on this side, and they all make a connection at one point. And of course that one gets grounded to chassis, which I believe is right here or here. You can do one or the other. Yeah, I think it's actually this one, because I don't think that's in the threaded hole. But back to the condenser holder here. It goes on just like that. There's 2 screw holes here. They're threaded, and you see a little piece of felt on there. that gets a little bit of oil, and that keeps the shaft here lubed, and which will provide lubrication for this, the edge that runs on the lobe, which constantly opens and closes your gap. So, and as you can see, this one's worn. It's worn more at the top than it is at the bottom, and that's all this plastic melt. And that needs to be clean, because that's your, as this starts to wear down right here, then you lose your gap. And well, you're going to be eventually running closed the entire time, and it will not run. So what else here? This is the condenser. I believe that I couldn't find it. I think it's obsolete, but excuse me. I think Roberts have this, maybe even the exact size, but I wasn't able to find that at CarQuest. Theirs is a little larger, not much, but it fits so many applications. You know, old time tractors, 2-cylinder, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, all kinds of things. But that fits in the bracket well. These little things here, they actually, I think they go into these two holes here, the ones I'm pointing at, middle finger, sorry. The two threaded holes, they go down like that, and they actually hold this in place. And that goes in there like this. That is magnetized in there, so it's going to be a little tricky to shove it down in there. It will bottom out, and that's where it stays. So, and when that's in there, then these two wires come up around the side here, and they make their connections. And this point here goes to your cap. You'll see that on the cap. I think it's kind of like it looks like this almost. It's a bent piece of wire or metal, and it just holds a little bit of spring tension on it when you tighten down your cap screws. And then the other part of the cap has a spring on it, and the spring goes over the center of this, which is right over the top of that. So you get your two connections here, and you get your, like, looks like a turtle almost, but that goes over the top, and you get your two sides here. I'm gonna have to look up which one of the wires go where, but I think it's the bottom one. I think the bottom one goes to your left side, and the top one goes to your right side. Don't hold me to it. I gotta look. But I think that's how that goes. Call it left hand side or right hand side, clutch side, flywheel side, whatever you want to call it. What else do I need to cover here? I'll try to do a demonstration to put it on the tractor. You know, you put them on. Wait a second here. Okay, you put your rotor on. You set your magneto to, I don't know if you have it pointed at, yeah, you gotta have it pointed at the number 1 cylinder, which is, I believe it's flywheel side. So number 1 cylinder, left side, you have it pointed at that. And the way your coupler thing on the back here, I think it's supposed to go on